Okay, so get this. What if you had like an AI partner in the lab? Someone who could not only brainstorm research ideas with you, but also actually help design experiments and even like predict those breakthroughs.
It's really incredible when you think about it.
And that is what we're diving into today. AI co-scientists.
Yeah.
We're talking faster drug discoveries, understanding like how bacteria become resistant to antibiotics. The possibilities are huge. And, I've got to say, even I'm like blown away by this and I've been reading up on it.
Yeah, me too.
But thankfully, we've got our expert here to help us kind of break down all the, technical stuff, but also like why this should matter to you, even if you're not a scientist.
Absolutely.
So I guess let's start with like, why are we even talking about AI co-scientists in the first place?
Yeah, well, one of the papers you sent over actually highlighted this problem. I think they called it the breadth and depth conundrum.
Oh.
Basically, scientists are bombarded with just so much information these days. It's almost impossible to keep up with it all, let alone actually like connect the dots across different fields.
It's like drinking from a fire hose of research papers.
Exactly. And, that's a shame because some of the most groundbreaking discoveries happen when you can actually connect ideas from seemingly unrelated areas.
Right.
Think about CRISPR, for example, the gene editing tool that won a Nobel Prize that emerged from combining knowledge from like microbiology, genetics, molecular biology. And so the idea behind the AI co-scientists is to kind of help us overcome this conundrum.
So it's like a partner almost.
Exactly, like a partner who can synthesize knowledge from multiple disciplines.
Okay, so now we've got this AI, our science buddy. But how does this AI co-scientist actually like work? What's going on under the hood?
Well, you can think of it as like a team of specialized AI agents. Each agent is designed to mirror a specific stage of the scientific method. So you have one for generating hypotheses, another one for reflecting on those hypotheses, even one for ranking them based on their potential.
So it's not just about searching databases. It's actually thinking like a scientist.
Right.
Forming hypotheses, evaluating them, refining them. It's like having a virtual lab partner just like brainstorming with you.
Precisely. And what makes it even more remarkable is that it gets smarter over time. The more it works, the better it gets.
Okay. How does an AI get better at science?
So the AI actually leverages something called test time compute scaling. Imagine like a student studying for an exam.
Oh.
The more time they spend studying, the better they're likely to do on the test, right?
Right.
It's similar for the AI. The more experiments it runs and analyzes, the more it learns and improves its ability to actually make accurate predictions.
So it's not just repeating what it's been told, it's actually learning from every single experiment it conducts.
Exactly. It even engages in something kind of like scientific debates with itself, using a system similar to how they rank chess players.
Wow.
It plays these games to refine its reasoning and improve its accuracy, and the research shows that this AI is already exceeding the performance of human experts on certain complex problems.
So this AI is getting smarter than the humans who created it.
Yeah, in a way.
That is both fascinating and a little unsettling. But I have to admit, I'm curious to see what this super smart AI can actually do in the real world.
Sure, so let's start with drug repurposing.
Okay.
One of the papers you shared described how the AI was tasked with finding new uses for existing drugs, specifically to treat acute myeloid leukemia, a type of cancer.
Right. That's a pretty significant challenge. Did it actually come up with anything useful?
It did. Not only did it identify potential candidates, but subsequent lab tests confirmed that those drugs actually inhibited tumor viability.
Wow.
And what's even more promising is that the AI suggested using lower drug concentrations, which could mean fewer side effects for patients.
So it's not just theoretical. The AI's suggestions actually worked in a lab setting that's really promising. Were there any other like real-world successes?
Absolutely. Another exciting area is target discovery for treating liver fibrosis, a serious condition where scar tissue builds up in the liver cell. The AI co-scientist helped pinpoint specific targets for treatment, and get this, experiments on actual human liver cells showed really promising results.
Wow. So we're not just talking about hypotheticals here. We're talking about tangible applications that could potentially save lives.
Exactly. And perhaps the most impressive example is how this AI tackled antimicrobial resistance, the rise of those dangerous superbugs.
Right. It's a scary thought, and it feels like it's getting more urgent by the day. What did the AI do?
Get this, it independently rediscovered a mechanism for gene transfer in bacteria, a mechanism that scientists had already found but hadn't published yet.
Oh, wow.
So it's like the AI is working at the cutting edge of scientific discovery, even without access to the very latest data.
That's seriously impressive. This isn't just a fancy tool. It's a true partner in scientific exploration. But how does this affect the average person?
Yeah.
How do these breakthroughs in AI and science actually impact our lives?
We'll think about it this way. Faster drug development means that we could potentially cure diseases that are currently incurable, and combating drug-resistant bacteria could help prevent future pandemics. These aren't just abstract concepts. They have a direct impact on the health and well-being of everyone.
So potentially longer, healthier lives thanks to AI.
Potentially.
Now, that's something we can all get behind. I imagine there's a lot more to unpack here. Like, what happens when AI starts making discoveries that humans might have missed entirely?
Right.
Are we on the verge of a new era of scientific breakthroughs driven by this kind of human-AI collaboration?
Those are excellent questions and ones that we should definitely explore further. What's really fascinating is the sheer volume of data that an AI can process, dwarfs what any human can do. So it's entirely possible that it could uncover like patterns and connections that would have been missed by even the most brilliant human minds.
So we're talking like a whole new level of scientific insight, but like if an AI makes a groundbreaking discovery, who gets the credit?
Right.
And who's responsible if something goes wrong?
Those are excellent questions, and they highlight the importance of thinking about this technology not just from like a scientific perspective, but a social and ethical one as well.
Right.
We need like clear guidelines, regulations in place to ensure, responsible development and deployment of AI co-scientists.
It sounds like we need to be having those conversations like right now before the technology gets too far ahead of us.
Yeah, I agree.
But let's talk about the scientists themselves. What happens to the role of like human researchers in a world where AI is making these, groundbreaking discoveries? Are AI co-scientists going to replace human scientists altogether?
I don't see it as a replacement. I think it's more like a powerful collaboration.
Right.
AI co-scientists can handle like those repetitive, time-consuming tasks that researchers often face, things like analyzing massive data sets or reviewing countless research papers.
Oh, right.
This frees up human scientists to focus on the more creative and strategic aspects of their work.
So it's like having a tireless research assistant who can just sift through mountains of data and highlight the most promising leads, and then the human can kind of take it from there.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
all about augmenting human capabilities, not replacing them. AI co-scientists are tools, and like any tool, their effectiveness depends on the skill and expertise of the person using them.
It's like any new tool, right?
Yeah.
It needs to be intuitive and user-friendly if it's going to be truly helpful. But let's shift gears a bit and talk about something even bigger. We often hear about AI being used to solve like practical problems. But what about those like big philosophical questions? The ones that have traditionally been the domain of philosophers. Can an AI co-scientist help us answer those questions too?
That's a fascinating question. While I don't think we'll be getting like definitive answers to questions like the meaning of life from an AI anytime soon, I do think that they can offer a new perspective.
Oh.
Imagine an AI analyzing vast amounts of like philosophical texts and identifying patterns or inconsistencies in our thinking.
So instead of replacing philosophers, AI could actually give them like new tools and insights to work with.
Precisely, AI co-scientists have the potential to push the boundaries of human knowledge and understanding, regardless of the discipline. It's really an exciting time to be a scientist, philosopher, or anyone curious about the world.
I love that, a tool for expanding our understanding no matter what field you're in. But that brings us to another important question. If AI becomes this powerful tool for discovery, how do we ensure that the benefits are accessible to everyone, not just a select few? How do we ensure like fairness and equity in this new world of AI-driven science?
That's a crucial point, and we need to be proactive in addressing those issues of access and equity. It starts with education, making sure that everyone has the opportunity to learn about AI, understand its potential, and have a voice in shaping its future.
So it's not just about training scientists and engineers to build these AI co-scientists. It's about educating the public and ensuring that like everyone feels empowered to participate in this conversation.
Exactly. We need to foster a culture of AI literacy, where people feel comfortable asking questions, expressing concerns, and contributing their own ideas. It's about seeing AI not as a threat or a savior, but as a tool that we can use to shape our future.
I like that term, AI literacy. It's not just about understanding the technical details. It's about understanding those ethical, social, and economic implications as well. And it's about making sure that everyone has a seat at the table as we navigate this new landscape.
Absolutely. The future of AI co-scientists and AI in general is in our hands. We need to be informed, engaged, and proactive in shaping this technology to serve humanity's best interests.
That's a powerful message. But before we get too philosophical ourselves, let's bring it back to the specifics. We've talked about the potential of AI co-scientists, but what are some of the challenges that still need to be addressed as this technology evolves?
One of the biggest challenges is improving the AI's ability to understand and interpret those complex scientific concepts.
Okay.
Right now, AI co-scientists are great at analyzing data, identifying patterns, but they still struggle with like abstract reasoning and drawing inferences from incomplete data.
So they're good at crunching numbers and finding correlations, but not quite at the level where they can grasp the nuances of scientific theory or the, complexities of human reasoning.
Right. We also
Right.
need to ensure that the AI's outputs are reliable and reproducible. We have to be confident that the AI co-scientists' recommendations are based on like sound scientific principles and that other researchers can replicate its findings. It's not just about getting exciting results, it's about making sure that those results are robust and scientifically valid.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
What else should we be thinking about as we develop this technology further?
Another important challenge is figuring out how to integrate AI co-scientists seamlessly into like existing scientific workflows.
Oh, right.
We need to create user-friendly interfaces and tools that allow scientists to interact with the AI effectively and incorporate its insights into their research. It's not enough to build a brilliant AI co-scientist. We also need to make sure it's easy to use and it fits seamlessly into the way that scientists already work.
It's like any new tool, right? It needs to be intuitive and user-friendly if it's going to be truly helpful. But it sounds like we're still in those early stages of figuring all of this out.
Hmm.
What's the next frontier in the development of AI co-scientists? What are the big questions that researchers are grappling with right now?
One of the key areas of focus is improving the AI's ability to learn and adapt.
Yeah.
Right now, AI co-scientists are trained on massive data sets, but their ability to learn from new information is still limited. Imagine an AI co-scientist that can not only analyze existing data, but also learn from its own experiments and refine its understanding of scientific concepts in real time.
That would be a game changer. An AI that's constantly learning and evolving. It's just like human scientists, it's almost like. It's almost like we'd be witnessing like a whole new kind of scientific intelligence.
Yeah.
One that's constantly learning and evolving alongside us. It's pretty exciting. And maybe
Yeah.
a little daunting, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And that's why it's so important to, keep having these conversations. The more we understand about AI and its potential, the better equipped we'll be to guide its development in a direction that benefits all of humanity.
So we've covered a lot of ground here, from like the technical intricacies of how these AI co-scientists work to the broader implications for the future of science and even like humanity itself. If you had to pick one thing, one big aha moment that you hope our listener takes away from this deep dive, what would it be?
I think the key takeaway is that AI is no longer just a futuristic concept. It's here, it's real, and it's already making waves in the world of scientific discovery. The potential is vast, but it's up to all of us to ensure that it's developed and used responsibly.
And that starts with, staying informed and engaged, asking questions, challenging assumptions, and being proactive in shaping the future of this technology.
Absolutely. The future of AI is not predetermined. It's a future that we're all creating together through the choices we make and the actions we take.
So we've talked about the potential for AI co-scientists to accelerate drug discoveries, combat superbugs, and even personalize medicine.
Hmm.
What other areas do you see this technology impacting in the coming years?
One area that I think is particularly exciting is climate change research. AI co-scientists can help us model complex environmental systems, analyze climate data, and develop strategies for like mitigating the effects of climate change.
It seems like there's like no limit to what we might be able to achieve with this kind of collaborative intelligence.
That's right. AI co-scientists have the potential to revolutionize not just individual fields of study, but the very way we approach scientific inquiry as a whole.
That's an incredible thought.
Mm.
It's like we're on the cusp of a whole new era of scientific exploration, one where human ingenuity is amplified by the power of artificial intelligence.
It's an exciting time to be alive, but it's also a time for thoughtful reflection and responsible action.
Couldn't agree more so. To wrap things up,
Yeah.
what's your advice to our listener? What can they do to stay informed and engaged in this rapidly evolving world of AI?
Read about it, talk about it, ask questions, and don't be afraid to challenge the status quo. The future of AI is too important to be left to a select few.
Well said. It's been an absolute pleasure diving into this topic with you today. I know I've learned a lot, and I hope our listener has too. So until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
Indeed, it's been a fascinating conversation.
That's what we do here on The Deep Dive.